taking care of other people is part of what humanizes us. And the fact that we are not called upon to do that very much anymore, or that we choose not to call upon ourselves to do that, isn't good for us. Again, since the Moynihan Report, since the 1960s, all of these issues have been studied. Everybody knows the sexual revolution has had some very bad effects.
This is Mary Eberstadt having a conversation with Chris Williamson in a video called "Did the Sexual Revolution Actually Benefit Women?" And she begins the video with an incredibly strong statement.
Who were the biggest winners and losers of the sexual revolution, in your opinion?
It's a long story, but I think the biggest winners have been men, and in particular, predatory men. And I think the biggest losers have been romance, men who are not predatory men, and women and children.
Why do you specifically want a woman like that?
With low body count?
Yeah.
Mary Eberstadt mentioned that there are losers in the sexual revolution. She mentioned women and children, she mentioned good men, but she also mentioned romance. Now I want you to pay attention to the next 30 seconds or so of this clip and watch two things. One, look at the body language of the ladies as they hear him speaking, because they are realizing something subconsciously. But second, look at the age of this gentleman. In the 60s, he would have been on a stoop doo-wop singing about some girl that he loved. If it were the 90s, he'd be singing some kind of love ballad, an R&B song about the girl he was dreaming about. But in the 2020s, this young gentleman is speaking very logically about love, without romance.
Because all the research indicates that there are gender differences between our behavior. That's why we're dimorphic. First of all, you have paternity uncertainty. Women who sleep around, there's less likelihood of them knowing who the father of their child is, and to a man, the ultimate disrespect is him raising a child that's not his. The second thing is, a lot of times when women sleep with a man, they want that man to like them. They want something out of that man. So if you don't get it, you become bitter, you may regret it, it may affect you emotionally, it may damage you.
If you are of my age, you would see a young gentleman speaking like this so matter-of-factly about love. It would have been a complete anomaly in the early 90s. But now this is becoming closer to the norm. So you can see that romance is suffering, because there's nothing romantic about the way he's speaking about dealing with women.
Emotionally. So you carry that into the next relationship that you're in. So now those guys are wondering why you are the way that you are, when in reality it's just because you don't feel valued. You don't feel validated. You gave your body to a man who didn't appreciate you, who didn't give you what you want. You knew what you wanted out of it. You didn't get it. So you feel some type of way.
I agree with you.
The next thing is, women describe is better when they like the guy. So if you sleep with a man that you don't know, you might feel some type of way, yucky, or I wish I hadn't done this. You experience, discuss. So there's differences.
Nurture is like a muscle, and if we don't use it, it atrophies.
Unite. You have nothing to lose but your kitchen sink.
Free more! When are we gonna get it? Now! Free our sisters! Free ourselves! Free our sisters! Free ourselves!
If you couldn't make out the chants, it was something to the tune of "Free our sisters, free our souls." But what's really interesting listening to the interviews is that the women seem to foreshadow that if you're going to gain this, you're going to lose something else. And it's that loss that Miss Eberstadt explains here.
I think the fire that's already raging is about what I call human subtraction. So let me walk through this. What really did the sexual revolution do? It subtracted people out of other people's lives, whether by abortion, by family breakup, fatherlessness, family shrinkage. All of these are acts of subtraction. And what they mean is that, for example, a 20-year-old today has many fewer people on average to whom he is related, whether in nuclear family or extended family.
What does International Women's Year mean to you?
Well, it doesn't worry me.
What does International Women's Year mean to you?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Has women's liberation affected your life at all?
No. I reckon the man should wear the pants, you know. He should sort of be the boss in the family, you know. Sort of. Well, I'd rather him go out to work and earn the money than me go out and earn the money and look after the kids, you know.
Do you ever think about women's liberation?
I don't, to tell you the honest truth, no.
I think possibly I'm like a lot of women and depend a lot on a husband, you know, on the male race, I guess.
I think women are in great danger of being dominated by women, being told to liberate themselves by doing what other women want them to do. That to me is a great danger. I think women are in great danger of being dominated by women, being told to liberate themselves by doing what other women want them to do. That to me is a great danger.
Radical autonomy is not in our best interests, any more than it's in the best interests of, say, elephants or dolphins or other mammals. We are social creatures like they are. And the ironic thing, Chris, is that if we look at other species, we understand very well that they need each other.
I really enjoyed this particular set of interviews because it's just a gentleman asking a series of women about how they feel about the dehumanizing idea of helping your husband or your man with his washing.
You're not married, are you?
No.
You're thinking about it?
No, not yet.
No. Well, if you were married, would you do all the washing for your husband?
I would.
Every bit of it?
Every bit of it.
What about the socks?
Yes, the socks.
You wouldn't have any objection?
No.
And do you think a husband should help out at all?
No.
You think a wife should do all the housework?
All the housework, yeah.
Are you married?
I am, yes.
How long?
4 weeks.
4 weeks? Ah, well then now you'll be able to tell us about this business of a husband helping out with the washing. Do you think he should?
No, I don't really think so.
Do you do it all yourself?
I do, yes.
By hand?
Yes.
That's 2-0.
You don't mind doing the socks?
No, not really.
Do you think anyone should object to this?
No, I don't think so. I do all my own washing at home, yes.
And do you wash all your husband's things?
All my husband's things except his socks.
Except his socks? Well,
yes.
no. And why don't you wash his socks?
Well, I think that's a man's job.
Why is that?
Well, it's his own feet, isn't it? I don't think a woman should have to wash his own smelly socks.
Taking care of other people is part of what humanizes us. And the fact that we are not called upon to do that very much anymore, or that we choose not to call upon ourselves to do that, isn't good for us.
Somewhere along the way, the idea of serving a man became slavery to a man. And the idea of a woman that cares about how your day was, she's going to help you take your jacket off, she's going to cook dinner for you, and in exchange, you're going to bust your behind doing whatever you can to not just take care of her, but also add the romantic element of buying her roses, or taking her out to nice dinners, or taking her to romantic restaurants or places. That idea is lost on a generation of men that previously would be singing love songs and writing love poems and doing these kinds of romantic ideals because they saw something special in women. And you can see that even in the interviews of women of the time, they knew that it's not necessarily something that women are 100% winning as much as it's a ticket to behave in a way that women haven't behaved previously.
I think women are in great danger of being dominated by women, being told to liberate themselves by doing what other women want them to do. That to me is a great danger.
On the back end of that became men simply look at women differently now. We don't see soft, dainty creatures that we want to protect and look out for. Instead, we see other regular people. And if we're going to behave in that kind of ecosystem, I don't give romantic flowers to my brother or to my friend down the street. When I go play basketball, I don't take chocolates and give chocolates out to the guys that I play basketball with. They're just guys. I'll buy them a juice or, some sports drink, and then we go back to playing ball. It's just like buddies. And I think now we're starting to see generations of young women that are looking around and saying, why are men looking for certain types of women in other places instead of looking for women here? And it's simple, the reason why. Men are in search of that spark of femininity that makes guys want to be romantic. And that is what these ladies from 1960s and 1970s knew from the beginning. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, guys.